Hey everybody, welcome to the latest episode of The Last Save Point. Puro here. Stay tuned to watch Calc and I discuss how successful the Drunk Soul stream was. EA is the worst company in all of America. The closing of Zipper Studios, whether or not movie adaptations are good or bad, the supposed PS4 specs, and of course qualms of the modern gamer.
Welcome back to another episode of The Last Save Point, guys. I'm Calc Ninja.
I'm Puro.
The first thing we're going to talk about, as always, is the games that we're currently playing. I have actually hopped onto the Mass Effect 3 bandwagon.
I heard that bad one is on fire.
Apparently it's on fire. Apparently people are still pissed. They're still looking for the real ending DLC.
I think they're more angry now than they were before.
I think you're right. So far, however, friggin' great game. I'm loving it.
It's like McDonald's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna get sued for that.
How we're gonna get sued for that?
It's gonna be awesome. You're using our jingle. My jingle wasn't on key though, so we're safe. Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's free advertising for them.
Done. But yeah, it's Mass Effect 3, some Warcraft, some Dark Souls.
Really, you played some Dark Souls?
That's about it. Yeah, I played some Dark Souls over the weekend. Yeah, it's weird how that works out. What about you? What are you playing?
For me, like in the last podcast, I told you guys started Assassin's Creed Revelations. I played a little bit more of that. I played a couple more hours. I don't know. That game keeps drawing you in because you're like, oh, I'll just do one more mission.
Right? No, I'll do one more.
And I'm just like, all right, I'll do one more.
I'll do one more. No,
and then it's like 1 o'clock and you're like, I gotta get up at like 7.
Right.
And then you're mad.
It's been like 8 hours. How did I lose 8 hours? Where did the time go?
Let's see. Then Friday night, I got to 20 on League of Legends, started buying runes.
Congratulations.
Yeah, game did not get easier.
It's been a long time coming.
Not as much as I thought. Everybody made it sound like it was God mode when you got to 20.
As soon as you get to 20, done.
Nah, still hard.
Still hard. Still difficult.
What did I start? Oh, started playing the Devil May Cry HD collection. Didn't play the first 2 for very long. Played the third one for a little while.
You're missing out. The first one's good.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm
sure it's Resident Evil with swords.
Missing out.
Hey, walk through this door. Loading screen. You're in this room that's a hallway. Open this door that doesn't look like a door. Like, they didn't change any of the things so I would know what door to go in.
It's so fun.
Devil May Cry 3 still looks just like I remember.
Right.
The other 2 look... I think calling those 2 part of the HD collection is blasphemy. But what else? I started something... Oh! I started playing Minecraft again.
God, I haven't touched that in so long. No, thank you.
Played that for a few hours last
thank
night.
you.
That game has amazing power to just suck your time away.
I'm gonna build a house. What the fuck? It's 5 in the morning.
I didn't even start the house. I just finished flattening out the ground.
I'm gonna put down the foundation. What the fuck? It's 8 o'clock.
You're like, and then it's 11 o'clock.
Right? And your house still isn't done. Still. No.
Probably playing more of that tonight too.
Yeah, I don't know. I might get back into it. I might not. It's iffy. Like, I just feel like I've done everything I can do in Minecraft.
There's an update.
I know there's an update, but
There's more items.
I just built shit. Maybe I can go back to build my tower.
Yeah, I found something that really irritated me yesterday. So there's like different colors of wood, right? But when you there's even different colors of planks, but even when you put the planks together, they only make one color of steps.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked really dumb, so I had to fucking fix all of my foundation. Like, that happened so many times that I had to fix it. Also, I was playing with water mechanics, and that's really fucked up.
Yeah, the water mechanics, to my knowledge, are still pretty bad.
Yeah, they turned off the gravity, so nothing dropped, so there was like this level of a lake, and then underneath, there was just sand. Like, no water there, just empty space, and I had to fix it.
Right.
It took forever.
It happened. So the first thing we're going to address then is the success of the Drunk Souls stream.
Hopefully you tuned in on Saturday.
I am. I'm gonna die. I'm telling you, dude. I hate
Dead. Dead.
I did.
Reister, it's not like WoW.
No, not at all.
What is it?
Star.
I mean, you have abilities and spell stuff, but it's not necessarily... You don't get all the cool stuff for being a melee person.
Number 5. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I told you.
You
I
lost
said that.
13,000 souls, you son of a bitch.
Oh my god. That next morning. Like, to date, this is the first Drunk Souls stream where the next morning was troublesome for me.
I think it was troublesome for all three of you.
Disbit was fine. He was fine. He showed up, like, towards the end. Like,
You
last
guys-
hour.
I bet he drank like half as much as you guys did.
He did. We finished off a bottle and a quarter of stuff.
Of some over 21 drink.
Over 21 drink. Some over 21 purple drink. Fish did not do so hot.
What did he tell you about this afterwards, the next day?
Oh, he told me he was never doing it again. Yeah, that's what he said. He's missing out, however, because it's great fun. People fuck with us on the stream.
Want to thank
Yeah,
Reister.
Ricer's tuning in. Joby1 tuned in and gave some criticism and comments and helped us out.
Oh my god, I can't remember everybody's name.
There were
Clint Bellinger. Clint Bellinger, I remember that
He
one.
was there. Yeah, we had a ton of viewers. We're giving you shout outs right now.
We know that everybody watches this video is not watching the
The stream.
stream.
We also know all the people that watch the stream to watch the videos, so we're gonna have to plug those next time.
I tried. Like,
It's fine. It's okay.
how am I supposed to get him to watch?
But it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. The next morning I didn't enjoy it so much, but we got through Blighttown. We one-shot K-Log. We are currently at the entrance to Sen's Fortress.
You were at the entrance to Sen's Fortress for several hours.
Yeah, we'd go in and die and take a shot, go in and die and take a shot.
Everybody was fine until they got there.
Repeat ad nauseum.
It was terrible once they got there.
And when I say ad nauseum, I mean nauseated. Because fuck.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, most of the shots were taken at Sen's Fortress. Like, not even in Blighttown. We made it through Blighttown. Almost no problem.
Maybe it was that one shot, every 3 minutes for you guys when you guys got to Sen's Fortress that did you guys in.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. But we're doing it again. I think the next tentative date is the 14th of April, since we won't be doing it this weekend, because we like to give our livers breaks.
It's hard to find everybody in advance like that.
Yeah, it is. It's really hard to get everybody to show up every single weekend.
We should try to get John.
We should get John. He's a great drunk. I've never actually hung out with him drunk, so that'll be a surprise. Yeah, hopefully we can get more people in. We had 3 people this week, 4 people actually, including you. 4 people this week. We usually just the 3 of us. Hopefully we can start getting more people in and more people ready and raring to go,
Ready to punish the liver.
ready to die.
Let's move on to our next subject. According to Consumerist poll, EA is the worst company in America.
Mass Effect. Yay.
They beat out Walmart. They
Yeah.
beat out GameStop.
Bank of America. They beat out Comcast. They beat out all sorts of companies that really, I think, deserve the title.
They beat out all these companies that you know for a fact are horrible.
Are much worse than EA. Okay. So I get it. Okay, you buy a shitty game from EA, $60 gone. You're with Bank of America and they foreclose on your house after you pay for the house, after the house is paid off. How much money is that?
Yeah, but Bank of America can only screw you once.
If EA screws you over more than twice,
Well,
there's something wrong with you.
What if they buy a studio that you really like?
Whoops.
Well, what am I supposed to do? I can't fight that. I can sue fucking Bank of America.
Yeah.
I can't sue EA for buying something.
You're out $120. Big shit.
Yeah.
You're out $500,000 on a house.
Well, they didn't just
Which
do
is
it.
worse?
They didn't do it out of the blue, right? Like they were
Which is
getting into
worse?
foreclosure, right?
No, well, you can't foreclose on a house that you don't own as a bank, and they've done that.
Well,
You
no,
can't-
I mean
you
like
can't
these people
demolish-
were defaulting, right? Like they didn't make payments.
No, they made payments.
Did they go a period of time without making payments?
No,
How much research have you done into this?
quite a bit. Bank of
A
America's
whole
done
20 minutes of.
I've been following Bank of America for a while. They've done some fucked up shit. Like the biggest deal is that they foreclose on houses when the bank doesn't own the house. The homeowner owns the house. You can't foreclose on a house that you don't own. First of all, then they demolish houses without giving any sort of notice. They demolished the wrong houses as well. Those are some livelihoods, and there's stuff in the house. I think Bank of America should have taken the cake here.
America's banking company.
Just because EA fucked up on some studios and
Had some games.
fired some people.
And some DLC.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. I do. There are studios that have been absolutely demolished, and those people are we're out of jobs. I'm sure they found jobs elsewhere.
Well, I think it also comes down to, not everybody has Bank of America, but
Yeah.
every gamer
Every
might
gamer-
have to buy from EA.
Yeah, I guess.
How many EA games do you own? I'm guessing it's more than 3.
Probably. Yeah.
I bet it's more than 3 on your PC.
Actually, no. I haven't used Origin.
Yeah, but you have
Origin.
Battlefield,
Battlefield was the last EA game I bought.
and you have Mass Effect.
I do have Mass Effect.
And you were going to buy Mass Effect 1 and 2 off of Amazon.
I was, but I didn't. I refrained. I held firm in my ground.
Yeah, see, they're just screwing you. Don't even know.
Nope. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that? EA being the worst company in America. Leave some comments below. Let us know.
Honestly, I thought Walmart was going to beat EA.
I thought it was going to be like Comcast. They have the monopoly on so much.
Not AT. I can't believe they beat AT&T.
That's true too. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the closing of Zipper Studios, the guys who released such hits as MAG. I don't even remember what that stands for.
Massively something.
Game Assault, maybe? I don't know.
Something like that. It was an acronym. I can't remember what
They
it was.
released MAG and they released SOCOM.
Those games you guys didn't buy.
Those big. I played SOCOM for a few years.
How long ago?
Uh,
When it was on the PS2? You haven't played it at all this generation. I'm almost
No.
positive.
not freshman year of college, so about 6 years ago.
Yeah, so how are they supposed to stay in business when you're not buying the games?
Maybe they should release better games.
Oh no, they're a Sony studio.
Yeah, I like SOCOM when I played it. I just didn't like it enough to purchase the future iteration. Same thing happens with Call of Duty. I like
Everybody buys Call of
I
Duty.
liked a couple of the games, but they're not good enough for me to justify spending another $60. I'll be honest, I bought Modern Warfare 3, but I bought it when it was on sale on Steam for like $15.
That makes it okay.
Why would I not buy it when it's $15?
Because I think
It's the same price as the DLC map packs. I get new maps.
that's $15. That's the money you would have spent on your WoW for this month.
It is. You're right.
For a game you're never going to play.
I don't know. What do you think about it? I mean, do you think it's a big deal? Do you think it's something that's going to be forgotten really quickly?
I think it's really strange that Sony allowed the closure of one of the studios they owned. They're generally throwing money at these studios, like
Right.
was it Santa Monica?
Mhm.
They made God of War, right?
Yes.
Santa Monica, the team that's making The Last Guardian.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All these first party companies, like they're giving them lots of money, they're making exclusives, but I guess people just didn't want to play SOCOM or MAG. MAG had a good idea. I'm not in the shooter, so that's most of the reason I didn't get into it. But 256 players. I mean, it dropped down to $20.
Yeah, there's really no reason not to pick it up at this point if you're into shooters and you're into large. One of the complaints I heard about the game, though, was that you could seriously spend 5 minutes, not see a single soul. You could run around for 5 minutes, because apparently everybody just camps.
I heard that the main problem was the game was that you couldn't fucking one-man hero it. The fact that you had to work with your team, and that's how you got most of your experience.
I don't think that's a problem.
I think that's a problem for when you're playing
I think it's a problem
the
when you're trying
the other big game.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, I'll accept that. I think it's a big problem when you're coming from a Call of Duty background, but I don't think it's a problem for that type of game. A game that is largely team based and is a team tactical shooter.
256 players, like
I think it's the way to do it.
they showed the grid before where all the deaths happened, and it seemed like everybody just ran in to
Because
make.
everybody's trying to one man army it.
And they're like, this is not Call of Duty. Why am I not leveling up?
Check this out. I'm gonna get 256 kills right now, right here.
Yeah, that's not how it worked out.
No,
But
that's not how it works in real war either.
that brings us to another topic. A lot of studios have been closing recently. Bizarre Studios, they made Blur and Geometry Wars. And Team Bondi closed after a hugely successful game.
I was really depressed when Bazaar closed.
You really like the Geometry Wars?
I do, actually. That is exactly where I was going with that. I really, really like Geometry Wars. It's just a twin-stick shooter, but it's so fun and simple and easy. I like it.
I think Rockstar fucking just ran that studio right into the ground so they could just have that engine.
There's a lot of stuff coming out about how Team Bondi was treated, and I think that's a big
all those
contributor.
all
to
those
why
things
it goes.
sound par for the course for Rockstar.
Yeah, that's true. You know,
Oh yeah, you gotta work. This game's gotta go out.
it's got to go out tomorrow.
Tomorrow. We just finished the story. Tomorrow.
Code everything tonight. All of it. You one
And then
guy.
they lock you in a room
Right? Shackle you to the
with a
the
bucket,
computer desk.
with a bucket and the hose, and that's it.
Oh, and a mouse wheel. In case you want some extras. Mouse wheel.
How are you gonna? Yeah, but they have to hold the computer while they run the wheel.
Yeah. The computer's actually been surgically attached so that
But
you
you have
can
to
you
run.
can run and type at the same time. Kind of like those baby harnesses with the backpacks, but it's the other way around.
Just on the front.
Yeah, it's on the front, and that way you can code and run at the same time. That's also, actually, it's also how the battery on the laptop is powered. By running.
Really?
Yeah.
Like they make them sit on like one of those.
No, they don't sit, they run.
No, why don't they have them on one of those bicycle things and you just look at that one?
Because
I think
that's not the first idea I came up with.
I think a giant
Because-
hamster wheel sounds more expensive.
Probably.
Oh, stationary bike. That was the word I was thinking.
Yeah, stationary bike. Yeah, I could see that. Stationary bike. Yeah.
Uh,
Fucking Rockstar. Why didn't they beat out EA? I don't know.
because Rockstar only puts out like one game a year.
Grand Theft Auto 5 next year.
Oh, Max Payne coming out.
Oh yeah, Max Payne's coming out. I like
That's our
those
game
games.
this
But that actually is a good segue into our next topic. Movie adaptations of games. Are they good? Are they bad? Most of the time they're bad, I think.
We bring this subject up because there's been a lot of adaptations going on, but in the past week it's come to light that the Bioshock has lost its director for the film adaptation, and he cited that the problem is that the movie studio and the game developer can't come up with a budget for the movie. And if you played any of the games, or I read the book because I brought it from Kelly, the budget for this movie has to be immense. Like we're talking a couple $100
It's so
million
big you can't even
dollars.
see where the other end is. It's just infinite.
It's like every time they talk about live action Cowboy Bebop, you understand that the movie's going to be astronomical in cost.
Same thing with Akira, actually. But I don't know. There's a lot of problems, I think, with movie adaptations of anything. You're not gonna please a fuck ton of people.
Well, you're trying to please the broad consumer while not completely alienating the gaming public.
people. And I think
Every once in a while, they get one and not the other, and
'Cause-
sometimes they fuck up both.
because this is gonna come up later. But movie adaptations don't have to be horrible, which is what I'm gonna start out with. I'm gonna lay the groundwork of this argument. Movie adaptations don't have to be horrible. Now I say this after watching The Hunger Games.
Anyone saw it?
Yeah, I went and saw The Hunger
That's
Games.
a book.
I know it's a book, but it's a movie adaptation of a book.
Yeah, but we're talking about games.
I know we're talking about games, but it is still a movie adaptation that did phenomenally well. Did you see how much it opened with that weekend? $150 million.
Yeah. Did you hear that people don't like when black people?
Apparently, people
play
also don't like when
actors
black people die or
play actors.
play some lead or minor lead.
I heard it was pretty racist.
Fucking-
Like all those posts.
That is though. Yeah, if you haven't seen them, Google Hunger Game tweets and just read. First link, read.
Guess what? It's mostly teenagers.
You will hate humanity. I guarantee it.
Teenagers who probably haven't even read the book.
Not well.
I'm
Certainly haven't read the book well.
I'm sure they jumped on the bandwagon when somebody was doing it.
Like I'm positive these people cannot read well. But anyway, I think that movie adaptation was handled well, and the problem is that because games are so new, or not as old as books, because fucking books have been around forever. I don't think they've learned how to handle that transition yet.
I think a problem is with the lore. There's so much to go with in books as a medium as opposed to video games when you have all this background information. I mean, I'm sure there's games like WoW that give you such in-depth lore information about, you know, they even go into classes, you know,
Right.
all the different races. But in a game like, I don't know, let's say like BioShock, this is a completely new universe and there's only been 2 games.
Right.
So what are you supposed to do? I mean, the Hunger Games, it's a 3-book trilogy, right?
Yeah.
So they already know the direction that they're going.
But look at To Kill a Mockingbird. Look at the book and then look at the movie. It's one book, not even that long of a book, not even a heavy read.
That movie's really long.
The movie is really long and fucking phenomenal. Like we were forced to watch that in high school. But you know, I've watched it since then, and it's still a great movie.
Which year was this?
It was either sophomore or senior year.
Well, sophomore?
Yeah, one of the two.
I was the Caleb in that class. We did not do it.
But I think, I mean, even then, you have one relatively short book. It's not even that long of a book. And you have this fucking long-ass movie that does really well. I don't understand why... Is there not enough story? This is going to come up later. We'll argue about this later. But I don't know. Maybe there's not, like you said, there's not enough lore. There's not enough story.
I think it's also the whole nostalgia point of view. To Kill a Mockingbird came out over 50 years ago, didn't it?
Came out a while ago, yes.
Okay, so when you go on sites like Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb,
Right.
they have the highest rated movies. More than half of them have come out, you know, more than 50 years ago.
It's true. You can look at Casablanca, Gone with the Wind, The Wizard of Oz.
And see, I don't know if it's necessarily a matter of the critics as opposed to the audience. A lot of the movies on that list are movies I don't want to watch. Like,
You're missing out.
I don't want to watch Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, Gone with the Wind is ridiculous.
I don't want to
I will-
watch
I will-
Casablanca.
I will say that. But, you know, you should watch Citizen Kane. Schindler's List is on there.
Yeah, but I saw that in high
That's-
school. That
that's a
movie,
good
that
movie.
movie came out that movie came out in the 90s.
You watched Wizard of Oz?
Not the whole thing. Even when it was in color, it was rough to watch. It's dumb. The character's dumb. I don't know. I'm not a kid.
But let's go back on to gaming
Okay.
being moved over.
Okay. Let's point out the list of follies.
There's a
in this
lot,
industry.
though. There's a ton.
Yeah.
First one being Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, well, you've all seen it. You all know that this movie is terrible and has almost nothing to do with the legitimate lore of the games.
You know what's funny, though, is the guy who played Mario, I can't remember his name right now, but I remember reading an interview from him,
I know, like everybody else in that movie.
except for him, right? John Leguizamo.
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper, right? But the guy who plays Mario, I read an interview a few months ago, actually, from where they interviewed this guy, and they were like, "What do you think is the worst movie you've ever made?" And he's like, "Super Mario, hands down, worst acting decision ever."
Well, didn't he say that he knew nothing about the game?
Yeah.
While they were making the movie.
It didn't fucking matter. The movie had nothing to do with the game either. It's 2 plumbers go save a chick from some dinosaur people.
That movie had like a $40 million budget too, like
Movie was-
20 years
The
ago.
movie was bad.
I think it banked like 20 million.
It's the bad.
20 million by like 2009. That was real bad. You're never getting that money back.
Movie we've got next on our list is Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
The movie looks so good. The story is not bad, and I have the same problem that everybody else has. If they didn't say Final Fantasy on the front, the movie would have been great.
Yeah. If it was just The Spirits Within, released by Squaresoft, would have been a really good movie. And I think a lot of people are pissed that it didn't have many Final Fantasy ties.
It tried to reach out for the broader audience, and I think it did an okay job.
It didn't do a bad. It had a storyline you could follow. God, it's been so long since I've seen
It,
that
the
movie.
storyline that people who had never played the games could follow.
Right. You had the live stream. You had Gaia. You had
Yeah, there were terms that that people actually played the games knew.
Right. They borrowed heavily from Final Fantasy VII.
Well, it seems like they really wanted, a summoner, a fighter in
Right,
there.
right.
That's not what the game was. The movie was.
If you didn't like the game, let us know. Or the movie, actually. If you didn't like the movie, let us know. Let us know why. Because we think it was an okay movie. We don't think it was that bad.
The movie lost $50 million when they make it. That's why Squaresoft
That's why
doesn't make
Squaresoft
movies.
closed Close that branch. No more
There's
movies.
no more. That's why they don't make movies.
So, because of that movie. I
Uh,
hate all of you.
let's move on to the next one.
Hitman?
Yeah, that movie was.
I didn't see it.
It made a little bit. It's okay.
It's got Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah, it's a lot like the Transporter to me.
What about Drive? Is it like Drive?
No, it is not like
Okay,
Drive.
So it's like the Transporter. More driving than Drive. Less driving than the Transporter.
Yeah, it's really boring,
Yeah.
like Drive in the beginning, and
Right.
then he beats the shit out of people.
I haven't seen it. I can't comment on that one.
You should go watch that.
Alright, I'll check that out.
Let's move on. Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. I've seen it.
No, I'm not going to waste my time.
That is the worst movie ever. If you've seen the live action,
Did you see the original Street Fighter movie?
yes, it is better than that. I mean,
Okay.
no.
Oh, it's worse than that.
Yes,
it's
it's
worse
worse.
than that. Okay,
It
that's
is-
pretty bad.
It is
That's
terrible.
pretty bad. At least you had Jean-Claude Van Damme in the first one.
Oh my god, it's so. Oh god, it's so terrible. I can't even begin to tell you what's wrong with that movie.
A lot.
Everything.
Everything.
I thank God I watched it on demand, so I didn't have to pay for it.
Next one we've got is a favorite. It's a favorite because it's by one of the best directors of all time, actually. Blood Rain. Yeah,
That shitty series that you may have heard of.
I haven't even played the games, but I watched the first movie. Hated it.
Never gonna buy one of the games. You're welcome.
It's directed by Uwe Boll. Uwe Boll?
Ubo.
Boll? One of those? One of those three?
He writes. He directs the worst movies ever.
Yes, he does. Funny note: the World of Warcraft movie. He wanted to direct it, and one of the leads of Blizzard was like, "We're not selling movie rights, especially not to you."
We don't want to just screw the entire movie series over.
Resident Evil.
The most successful franchise, I found out while I was looking up stuff. That last movie, you know, that movie that everybody saw that was really, really terrible. That movie made almost $300 million. How?
What is wrong with you?
How does that movie make $300 million? It's awful.
I watched it.
It made
I watched it. I went and
no
saw it
sense.
in 3D even.
That movie cost $45 million to make, and they made $300.
Yep, and they're gonna keep making more.
I always wondered why
And
they
I'll
got to
keep
keep making these
I'll
movies.
keep watching them.
I'm
I
like,
don't care how bad they are.
I was like, Mila Jovovich, because she's the shittiest actor in these movies. I mean, actress. And
But she looks good.
well, they have to keep
And she
paying
kills
for them
stuff.
somehow.
The violence, and they have the male audience pinned down. Set. Done. Game, set, match. Checkmate. Done.
It's gonna be so bad.
Tomb Raider is the last franchise that we're going to talk about.
The franchise that you
Bring it
probably think is the best of the movie series.
I think they handled...
They handled the first one pretty well.
Yeah.
The second one
Yeah.
was not great.
I like the first one a lot, actually.
The first one has Gerard Butler in it, right?
It was a good movie.
He kicks her down that hole, right?
It's a Sparta.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sparta kick. It's where it started, the original Sparta kick, Tomb Raider. Not 300 years ago. Yeah.
Great.
Right.
All right, I guess we can move on to the next subject. These just came out today. PlayStation 4 rumors. AMD quad-core 2.9 gigahertz and a Radeon 1 gigabyte video card. What does that mean? Because I don't have a nice computer.
Just before we proceed, though, I want to say it's about fucking time that something happens before we go live and not like the day after. That way we're not a week behind on our video game news.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I
Yeah,
was wondering where you were going with this.
No, shit always happens on Friday. Like, fucking video game shit, Friday. Done. We should,
Literally broke like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, it did. That's fairly beefy.
Don't the current generations only have they have a single core, right?
To the best of my knowledge,
Single core, and don't they only have 256?
I haven't
video
exactly
memory?
put a lot of effort into looking at and examining the specs of my current gen hardware.
Well, let's just say that these specs are several times better than.
Yeah, to
What you're
our
getting now.
knowledge, yeah. But I think that's a pretty beefy console.
What did I say?
I don't know how far graphics are going to be able to go though, because you can. I mean,
What did I read in the article? That it was running Crysis on Max, 30 frames per second at 1080p just fine.
my computer can do that.
Yeah, but that's good. That's good relative to what we have now.
That's true. That is true. I mean, I imagine that Dark Souls won't lag on a computer when that comes out. But I imagine Dark Souls when you get into like Blighttown or
Yeah,
when
but
you
it
get
still
into
lags in Blighttown.
No. But I don't know. I'm excited because that means we're gonna get games that approach the uncanny valley. Hopefully, by the end of the next generation cycle, we can get out of the uncanny valley. For those of you who don't know, the uncanny valley is that area where computer-generated images look so real that there's something off. If you've ever seen
the Kara video,
the Kara video, for example, is
every cutscene in Final Fantasy 13, like the CG cutscenes.
no, because there's still a level of non-humanness to those cutscenes.
No, that's what I mean. Like they're getting that level where you're like
they're getting really high up there, and the Kara video I think is the closest we have to date. It may even be past the end level of the uncanny valley, but like the easiest analogy to make is the porcelain dolls. If you look at a porcelain doll, they creep you out, right?
Yeah, because they look so real.
Yeah, that is probably the best analogy I can make is video games looking like porcelain dolls.
Well, I think it's really important to note that Kara is made by a third-party studio.
Yes, it is. And
it is not made by...
They released some fucking amazing tech videos.
It is not made by EA, it's not made by Activision,
Right.
not made by Blizzard, it's not made by Square.
Right. It's made by
Quantic Dream.
Quantic Dream, yeah. Same guys who did Indigo Prophecy. They released Heavy Rain. They had that tech video that was kind of their announcement for Heavy Rain, with a girl who was getting the acting job, and then the background changed around her to the house, and there was the gun on the table.
Oh, it was the augmented reality from when you put on the glasses sort of thing?
No. She was doing an acting thing in front of a green screen.
Oh, and it was changing around her,
And
so
then
she saw it?
Yeah, and then it changed, and she was like in a house, and she was talking about how this relationship is going nowhere, or like her family's been fucked up, and there's a gun on the table, and she says that you don't think I can do it, and she's crying, and there's rain and stuff. It's a really cool tech video. Just do a Google or a YouTube search for Quantic Dream
If
tech video.
If you haven't bought Heavy Rain already and you have PS3, just go buy it. It's gonna be like...
It's gonna be fairly cheap, and it's definitely worth playing.
Yeah, it has multiple
Absolutely.
endings.
Absolutely,
And it's
worth
not like a
playing.
Mass Effect 3 ending where
No,
it's all the same ending.
Right, your endings do change
People
based on
die.
what you do. People die, and they're gone for the rest of the game. Your whole game changes if you make one not wrong technically, but one different decision.
Or you don't know that those glasses actually hurt you when you're at the end of the game.
That's why you take the medicine.
Yeah, I didn't know that was going to happen.
Spoiler.
I had no idea that those fucking
Spoiler.
glasses hurt you.
Yeah.
No, that is not a spoiler. That is a
Spoiler.
helpful tip for you.
Spoiler.
So you get a fucking perfect ending, unlike me, who had one character die and never played the game again.
But I'm excited because I think that it's going to be disappointing at first because we're going to be right in that uncanny valley. We will be right there. Games are going to they'll look great. Don't get me wrong. They will look absolutely beautiful. But it's going to be weird because the people are going to look really good, but it's going to be uncomfortable to watch.
I think that these numbers bring up something else. If the Wii U is going to have current generation graphics and these are several times better, isn't the Rift going to get a lot bigger?
The Wii U the original Wii has pretty bad processing power.
I know, but if we're talking 3-4 times the quality, and the Wii U's having what we have now, I wouldn't say that the difference between the Wii and the HD consoles is 4 times.
It's true. I don't know. Well, we'll see how it plays out. I think that Nintendo is banking on the fact that we haven't
That they're
maximized.
That they're coming out first is what.
Well, that's part of it, but we also haven't maximized this generation of consoles yet. Developers have said that there's more we can do. We can push these further, and I think that's what Nintendo's banking on. We'll find out.
They say that all the time about the PS3, and I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I know, right?
What's gonna
Where can
happen?
we go? Where can we go with this?
Like, I understand you have fucking multi-layered Blu-ray discs, but
Right?
it's going to cost you a lot more money.
Costs a lot of money. We'll find out.
All right.
So, our last topic for the day is qualms of the modern gamer. As always, we're going to wrap up the show with it. This is something that it divides us. We're divided on this issue. And we both feel really strongly about it. But the question is, do video games as a medium need to grow up?
Before we get into this, I would like you guys to know that before we do every show, we have a little discussion about the topics. And this one actually prompted a discussion that lasted like 15 minutes. So this is not going to be a fun subject for,
No.
for people right now.
It eventually devolved into name calling, and shots were fired,
and
weapons
then
were
we,
pulled.
then we started slap fighting.
Yeah, we did. We fired some bullets at each other, realized we can't aim worth a shit, and then went to slaps.
Manly slaps.
Manly slaps. Keep my pimp hand strong.
Well, let's just start. You had the big opinions.
Cause it okay.
Why don't you start with the basis of your argument?
I think gaming as a whole needs to grow up.
Meaning what?
I don't think that we have enough storylines that grab us. This is really hard for me to frame without getting all pissed. But I think that a lot of games don't put a lot of focus into storyline. I think they put them more, not saying this is wrong, but I think they put them more into gameplay and less into storyline. So you have a game that's fun to play, but has shit for story. And I think that the next step is to start including writing elements. You have books and you have movies. There's a lot of shitty books and there's a lot of shitty movies. Don't get me wrong. But there's also a fuck ton of great books and a fuck ton of great movies. When you think of a great game, what do you think about? What makes a great game? We've discussed this before.
It has that guy who does the voice for Nathan Drake in it.
Yes, it has the guy that does Nathan Drake's voice. Yes, that's a
And
given.
he does Desmond's voice.
He also does Desmond's voice. That's a given. Yeah. Okay, so Assassin's Creed and Uncharted, right?
Yeah.
But you have games with strong story elements. You have games with tight gameplay elements. You have games with some replayability. Right? Am I missing the mark on these?
I'm waiting for you to finish.
Oh, you interject whenever you want. Because I can go all day.
You're making this argument that developers need to be more concerned with the story than they are with the actual gameplay when you're supposed to be spending the majority of your time in the game.
Playing the game.
Playing, not watching. I do not want to watch, Metal Gear Solid 4, the movie. Because
Yeah.
it's longer than a movie to watch the cutscenes. Several times longer.
Right.
That's ridiculous. I play the game to be immersed. The story is secondary. Most of the time, I don't even pay attention to the story. I don't care. Most of the time, stories is bad. And I know it's bad. But I want to do the gameplay. I'm sure that's how everybody plays Call of Duty feels.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I bet you're right. Everybody ignores the single player in Call of Duty. This is a topic that we broached before, but never quite to this level.
But you're making this you're commenting on how books and movies are taking a different path. They're in mediums that you're not involved in.
Right.
You're sit there just to watch. You have no impact on it, and that's a huge deal. You shouldn't have to make little caveats for the story like this when the gameplay is what is most important for the game. It's called a game. It's not called
A book.
It's not called an interactive movie.
Right. I don't know. My one argument for that is Heavy Rain.
You walk around.
Heavy Rain is Quantum Dream classifies it as interactive fiction,
They call it something else.
interactive storytelling.
No, I think it was something even weirder. Like they gave it such a weird title.
Yeah, it's a really odd title, something like that.
But it came out like 2 years ago.
But the point, I mean, you still have really strong story elements, and I think games need to start including really strong story elements. I'm not saying get rid of the gameplay entirely. No, I think that we've taken this long to refine gameplay, and we're getting to the point where gameplay is refined. Gameplay is tight. If you fuck up gameplay at this point, there is something wrong with your studio, and you should close. Fucking absolutely. If you can't get gameplay down, no. There's absolutely no reason this late in the game.
The exact argument you just denied your own argument that they should be spending money on the game development over the story. That is exactly what you just said. Like, if they can't do this, then why even bother with the story?
I'm saying that at this point, you should be done with gameplay. Gameplay is refined already. Storyline is lacking. Storyline needs to be introduced along with gameplay.
You're putting way too much pressure on these studios when they're already forced to innovate their gameplay with new iterations, and you want a better story every time too.
I do. Is it too much to ask?
I think it's too much to ask for anybody who isn't a AAA developer.
I'm trying to think of games with really good storylines right now.
You came up with one.
I came up with Heavy Rain.
One.
Right. That's one.
One that isn't made by a AAA studio, but is an exclusive for Sony, and I don't understand why they didn't buy them.
If we go to past games, if we go to Past generations of games.
You're gonna pick nostalgia games
Oh,
that
absolutely.
you haven't
Absolutely.
played in more than 5 years.
Okay, I can skip those. I'll skip those.
Like, I thought Devil May Cry 3 looks amazing, and then I played it recently, and I realized I was wrong. And the story's kind of dumb. But see, that's exactly my point. See, I liked how the game used to be, how it was when I played it like 10 years ago.
You're
But I
playing
played
a
it-
game on like the NES. When you're playing Ninja Gaiden.
That's 20 years ago, Jess.
I know.
What are you...
Well, I know. I mean, at that point, yeah, you're playing a game to play a game. But I
you're-
want to be... You said it yourself, though. You're playing a game to be immersed. If there's no storyline, how do you get immersed?
It's called Demon Souls?
There's a storyline in Demon's Souls and Dark Souls. It's convoluted as all hell.
The first one? The first one almost no story.
As all hell. But there's a story in there. You said
Yeah.
the same thing about Dark Souls until I started explaining it to you.
Yeah, because I remembered the video at the beginning of the game.
Yeah. There's a lot more to it than that, too. But Metal Gear Solid is a huge example of a game that does story right, that does gameplay elements right, but hasn't mixed the two correctly. You're still sitting there watching a fucking movie every half hour. And the movies are like an hour and a half long. Like the fucking ending scene, oh my god.
Did you like pop popcorn first?
I did, yeah, I was ready to go. I had soda, I had hot dogs, popcorn. Heavy Rain is another one that mixes gameplay and storyline. They have a really good storyline, they have some lacking gameplay. You still have tank controls and you still have quick time action events that people don't like for some reason, but I'm okay with. But that's another step in the right direction. I think that we need to start having these intricate storylines. Mass Effect tried it. First game did the different storyline thing kind of well. Second game was more shooter based, and apparently the third game just fucking threw it all in the trash. But I think that these are steps in the right direction. I think we need to start seeing more intricate storylines.
When you cite a game like Heavy Rain, it makes me think that you want the gameplay to be dumbed down because the gameplay in that game is really dumbed down.
No, I will agree with you on that. The gameplay in that game is fucking atrocious.
Like, you're really just walking around and you have to press a button to walk.
Right.
Like, and I'm not talking about direction button. You have to hold
No,
R2.
you hold a button down. But I think it's a step in the right direction. They're sacrificing gameplay for storyline, which is not what I'm saying. That's not what I want. That's not what I want at all.
No, you want more, which is going to cost more money.
Yeah.
And people are already complaining that they don't want to pay $60 for a game.
$60 is too much for a game.
So where's this money supposed to come from?
Look at Portal, Half-Life.
Those games aren't cheaper than $60.
Portal's $20.
Portal's $20 now.
Portal 2 is $20.
Portal 2 came out at $60.
I know it did.
Okay, that's exactly my point.
Yeah, but it's
So you're talking about playing these games that came out like more than a year ago.
right, but they still further my argument.
I don't think they do when we're talking about price. Because they're still being released at a certain price point.
At a cheap price, fairly cheap price point.
You just said it wasn't $20 when it came out.
No, it wasn't. It was $60. But look
Okay,
at
that's
look
my
at a game that
point.
focuses on gameplay. Look at a game that focuses on gameplay. Call of Duty. How long ago did that come out?
Which one?
The fucking newest one, Modern Warfare 3.
In November.
How much is that?
So $60.
Yeah. How much was World at War up until Modern Warfare 3 came out?
It wasn't more. It dropped in price when the second one came out.
Yeah. They don't drop in price until the sequel comes out. And those focus solely on gameplay.
Actually, Black Ops is still like $40.
There you go.
And I think Modern Warfare 2 is still like $30.
Yeah.
World at War, that's 2 games before Modern Warfare 2, and it just got to $20 when the second one came out.
Heavy Rain, I guarantee you, will not cost more than $20.
No, it's one of the greatest hits. It's gonna cost $30
I hate you. You can go pick it up used
for not $20.
for much less than $20. Come on.
No,
Come
from
on.
where?
GameStop,
No,
Amazon, eBay.
you know that the GameStop markdown is not a third.
No.
I bet it's $25.
You can. I'm told Enslaved has a great storyline.
Yeah, I told you that.
You're not the only one who's told me that. I've heard that from multiple sources, and not just Fish.
He didn't beat it.
Of course he didn't. He doesn't beat anything.
I beat it.
I don't know. The biggest piece of credibility that I can give myself in this situation is that I play fighting games.
You mean games no story?
Those have a fucking shit for story, but they have tight as all hell gameplay.
Or you mean Marvel vs. Capcom 3 best story superhero story ever?
And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want a storyline introduced into fighting games. It'd be cool. Be awesome, sure, but they definitely need to focus on gameplay there.
Then what genre are you complaining about?
Part of it's shooters, part of it's RPGs.
You don't play that genre.
I play shooters.
You have two that you don't play very often.
I've got Crisis, I've got Modern Warfare 3.
When was the last time you played one of those?
I actually played Call of Duty 3 the other day.
You mean after you downloaded it?
No, I downloaded that over Christmas and played it a couple days ago.
And when was the last time you played before that? Christmas?
About a month.
Okay, so
I'm in. I don't know. Do you guys think video games need to grow up, or are they fine where they are?
obviously this
This divides us.
is a really bad issue.
There's a wall right here. Yeah. Let us know what you guys think. We'd like to hear your thoughts on this.
I think your thoughts are unrealistic.
They're not. Are they? Are my thoughts unrealistic? Is wanting a story and gameplay too much? Is it?
It's not your money to spend.
No, right now it's the state's money, but that's not an issue.
When it's your money in your studio, you can make the decision.
It's a heavy subject. Let us know what you think. That's going to wrap up this episode of The Last Save Point. I'm Calc Ninja.
I'm Piro.
Thanks for watching. Enjoy your gaming.